You wrote an article, 5 non-quarterbacks under the microscope at training camp. I think we can probably put a sixth now with Quinshon Judkins kind of putting himself under the microscope. But you've got Graham, Jones, Deontay Johnson, Swessinger, and Wright. And all of those are important. And of those, who do you think they really need to come through maybe the most?
Mason Graham. I think Mason Graham is because look, it's not just that you took him where you took him. It's what you did to get to take him. If the trading out of two, trading away potentially this generational talent that you compared to Shohei Otani and Travis Hunter, you know the need and the emphasis that the defense puts on defensive linemen providing being the focal point of the defense, the focal point of where the pressure comes from. I just Mason Graham has to be, and the lack of young defensive tackles, quite who have proven young defensive tackles who are playmakers on this defense. I think all of that just puts it more on Mason Graham to be the guy that they need him. They need him absolutely to produce in 2025 and show signs that he was worth that number 5 draft pick.
Yeah, and the thing is if Dewan Jones shows that he can play left tackle at a reasonably high level, I think that does wonders for what you're able to do in the upcoming draft in 2020. If he can play tackle at a high level, even if you got to flip him to right, that's one position that's you need to find that you have taken care of. So I think Dewan Jones is a big year for him.
Absolutely. And I think with Dewan, like you say, just show that you can. He's another one. Just show he can stay on the field. Because I've been very intrigued by what I've seen out of him in his 2 years when he's played. But both years have ended. Last year was a little more of a freak injury with the broken fibula. But he's got to finish out a season, play a full season, so you can figure that out. But I still think because you look at the rest of the offensive line, everybody else is a free agent after this year. So I still think that's a position where going into next year's draft, you need to see as a priority. But if he can show that he can play left tackle, then I think it doesn't minimize it, but it makes it that you're not seeking out that such left tackle is such a premium, high profile position on the offensive line. I think look if you're looking for a right tackle, I think that's a little easier to get. You don't have to maybe target quite so high in the draft, even though you will have 2 first round draft picks.